Welcome to Think Positive Radio. I am Telly, and Maurice is jumping on the line in 1 second. We are Miracle Media, and by tuning in to today's show, you're waiving the right to mediocrity, insecurities, and the trap of a lukewarm lifestyle. The show is brought to you by Miracle Media and Think Positive Magazine. Think Positive has positioned itself as an authority in positive content, so visit us at www.thinkpositivemag.com.
That's right. And really quickly, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to the over 600,000 listeners of the Survival Radio Network. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us for Think Positive Radio on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And as usual, you guys picked the right time, the right moment, the right day, the right show to tune into. We have a great show planned for you. Fellow positive thinkers, I'm sure you're going to be excited about what we're getting ready to do here. Mr. Eric B. Horn, a prominent personal and professional development expert, is going to be joining us today, Telly, and spend some great quality time with us, dropping jewels. So, positive thinkers, make sure you grab your pen and your pad. It's getting ready to go down. You know what I mean, Telly?
That's right. Eric, I know for sure he's a thought leader, and, you know, he's a great career coach. And just an expert in the areas of career development, empowerment, and leadership. His passion is to accomplish other people's goals. Well, not accomplish their goals, but help them accomplish their goals and their dreams. Eric actually is the founder of a company known for design, development, and provision of innovative consulting services for small businesses. So we pumped up. Oh, man, I'm ready to get it in. Let's get in. Eric, welcome to the show, brother.
The announcements. I need to put y'all on the payroll and take y'all with me. So anytime I have a games or something, y'all can really get me hyped up. So we're going to have to talk business after this.
I like that, brother.
We are open for business, brother. So
I like that. We are open for business.
Yeah, bro. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. You know what? On Think Positive Radio, we really pride ourselves in selecting certain individuals to have onto the show, and so that we can feature. And we are no stranger to your expertise. So definitely. We are just pumped up to have you on.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. You guys are making a lot of waves in the media world. You know, when it comes to media, it's so much negativity, and you guys are pushing positivity on purpose. You know, so, you know, definitely kudos to you guys. Keep doing what you do. There's so many people out in the world that need the information that you put out there, because we hear so much about killings here, this person gets shot, and it gets to a point where it infects your train of thought. So what you guys are pushing out is so needed in the community and in the world. So, I mean, I definitely give you guys props.
Thank you, brother. And I'm not even going to lie. Positivity on purpose, that's dope. You will hear that phrase again.
Trademark.
Can we steal that? Can we steal that phrase?
He just said trademark, man. That's like kissing it up to God once it's dropped on the floor.
Hey, you don't feel gifts. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, all I ask is just you use that to just, hey, when you accept your award, just mention me and I'll be in the background like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You got it.
So,
of course, that's what we will do. That's a contract then.
Hey,
awesome,
like I said, we can talk business offline, you know?
There you go.
And, you know, we often do, man, you know, and definitely we appreciate what you just said, but honestly, you're doing the same thing. You know, you're making waves out there, just really helping to take individuals to the next level, and not even just individuals, but organizations to the next level. And, you know, what we really want to know and what the listeners want to know is what led you down the road of personal and professional development. Was it like a certain life event? Was it a person that inspired you? What led you down that road?
Actually, it was a downsizing. In 2008, to be more specific, the Monday before Thanksgiving in 2008, I got called into the office at my job at the time, and they said we have to let you go. I'm sorry. Wow. They gave me my box, and it was when dealing with corporate America, it was a little bit of shadiness behind it, but it is what it is. And with a lot of people, once they lose their jobs, and if their job is their life, they get depressed. They get to the point where they don't even want to deal with life anymore. Their family falls through the cracks. So one of the things that I needed to do was I started to coach myself. So instead of me saying, Eric, you failed, you'll never get in this position again, it got to the point where I was saying, what are some of the things that I could have done that would have helped shield me if it happened? Because, you know, when it's inevitable, it's going to happen. So I got to the point where I started to coach myself on a daily basis, and in actuality, that started to help me out. But the beauty within that was more people started to come to me and ask me about their career advice. And if someone comes to me for advice, I would give them the same information that I would want someone to give me. So it got to a point where I didn't even call it coaching then. I was just having a conversation with people, giving them tangible steps. And then it got to a point, these tangible steps, they started to come back and say, whoa, I got the promotion, or I got the job, or, you know, thank you so much. So then it got to a point I was thinking, I need to monetize this. So I truly understand that, like, it's a gift from God, hands down. So, and I recognize that, but at the same time, you know, I wanted to monetize it because it gets to a point when you give out too much free information, you're never going to get anything back, you know?
That's right.
So we got to a point where I did my paperwork, did my research, and started the company. And one of the biggest to realize within the company, it's so many people out there that need the awareness. You know, I don't want to use the word help all the time, but just the overall awareness on developing yourself professionally and personally. So, yeah, the gift turned into a business, and here we are today.
Wow.
Okay. Well, you know, you just mentioned so many people out there that need development personally and professionally. Break down the difference between the two.
You kind of faded out. What did you say?
I'm sorry about that. I said that, you know, you were talking about the amount of people out there that need development, need to go to that next level professionally as well as on a personal level. Break down for the listeners, our listeners, the difference between those two.
Well, actually they tie into each other. Like, for example, to better yourself professionally, you have to take personal responsibility on what you want to do. It's a lot deeper than just, okay, I received my MBA or I've received my doctorate degree, I have X amount of money coming in. A lot of times when you develop yourself, it makes you feel good. It touches your core because it gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of responsibility with yourself to say, here I am at this particular point in my life. I know that I can do better. Let me put forth the action to get it done. Like one of the mistakes that I've made over the years, I would have a lot of thoughts. I mean, I would feel down and I would feel a little sad because I'm not, quote unquote, at the level where I think I should be. So I would do a lot of thinking, I would do a lot of journaling, but I failed to put forth the action, and you could think positive, plug, all day long, but you have to put forth the action. And a lot of people think professional development is this whole big scheme. It can be as simple as saying, I want to do X by this particular time, and then it can just be as simple as going to the library, sitting down and reading and taking notes and putting together an action plan. That's professional development, even though the industry with training and workshops and things of that nature charges, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, but anybody can do professional development. They just have to think positive and then put forth the action. So even though you ask the difference, they're always intertwined in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Now, it's widely known that public speaking is a fear of some people. How are you able to master what many people have avoided?
That's a good question. Let me put this out there first. I'm an introvert, and what an introvert is, they're more, they internalize things. They receive their energy from being by themselves. But I remember one of my old mentors, because I told him, I'm really afraid about speaking. If I make a mistake, what do I do? He looked me dead in the face and said, what's scarier? You going up there, being nervous and all, if you make a mistake, you continue to go, or the overall effect that you would have based off of not even going up there and speaking. When you speak to someone or speak to a group of individuals, they want that information. The crowd wants you to win because if they're there to hear you speak, there's some information that they need. So for me, it got to a point where instead of me saying, oh, my goodness, I'm speaking in front of 100 people or 200 people, I look at it as a huge classroom and let me prep myself well enough so I can give the information out to the person, because it's no telling what will happen if I don't give the information. Now, I still get nervous at a point, but also I let the audience know, guys, I want to give you a heads up. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still going to push through. That gives you buy-in, because at least the audience knows where you're coming from, and they will even give you more of their attention, more of their respect, more of their love, because at least you admitted something that you are afraid of, but you're still going to push through. So those are the techniques that I've learned, and I'm still learning. I watch videos, I read books to try to figure out how I can get better. So it's not just, okay, I can speak in front of people and it's a one and done. No, it's continual. I mean, I'm 35 now. I'll still continue to learn at 45, 55, 65, 75, or whatever the case may be. So, and if you make a mistake, just keep going. Don't stop.
Wow. Hey, I'm encouraged already.
Yeah, that's some good information. Good information.
Yeah,
and I have to concur with you, Brother Eric, is that, I was at a speaking engagement myself not too long ago, and it was a mild-sized crowd, probably about 100 people or so, but I did exactly what you just suggested without even knowing, meaning I got up there and said, hey, guys, FYI, I'm a little bit nervous, but we're going to make this thing work. And it created a chemistry between myself and the audience, that we were able to truly be able to get the message delivered that we were trying to deliver. So I'd have to agree, brother. Those are some very, very good points that you lay out there. And anyone that's listening, feel free, if you want to call in and engage here. The phone number is 917-932-1078. And if you have a question for Mr. Eric Horne, make sure that you press 1 so that you can be patched through on over to us. so we can get you engaged in this great conversation.
Eric, who are those people? Describe to us the types of individuals that will benefit most from career coaching.
From my experience, anyone that wants to advance, because you have two different types of people when it comes to career. You have individuals that are they're set in their ways and they want to stay at the particular job because it's safe. It pays them just enough money. They really don't have to put forth any effort. Then you have the individuals that will never settle with regard to where they're at. Not saying they're not grateful, but, you start out as a clerk, but then you end up as a vice president. So the individuals that would really benefit from it are the ones who have the mindset that they want to continue to grow with regards to their career. And let me even take it a step further. It depends on the motive of the person, because, you have some people who they don't see themselves as getting better, but then you have people who want to work and get better based off because they have families to take care of, or they're trying to leave a legacy behind, or they just want to push the envelope as far as they can. With my business, in the beginning, I tried to serve everyone, but then one of the brick walls that I would hit is you can't motivate someone who's not motivated themselves. And I'm not saying that you need to be so motivated that you're ready to take on the world, but, your motivation can even come from just saying, you know what, I want to do better with my life. And there's nothing wrong with that, and that little spark can be all that you need to create an inferno, So it got to a point now, I ask people from the very beginning, what do you want out in life? And if some people say that they don't know, ask a couple of other, which is so important, ask a couple of other open-ended questions to see if there's something there. Because when it comes to, once again, professional development, it starts from the core. And there's a difference between someone who doesn't know or the person that does know, they just don't know how, So if it gets to a point where I ask a couple of questions and the person doesn't want to do it at all, okay, God bless you. I hope things will work out, because if I spend my time and my effort with that individual, it's going to end up frustrating me, and that person's going to end up wasting their money. I'm just not the type of person to take someone's money knowing that they're not motivated. That would be a good service for me and them. But for individuals who want to get better at life, want to get better at their career, those are the individuals that I strategically seek out, because I know with just a little bit of guidance, we can put them me and my team can put them in a position where they are the all-star at their company, at their business, or whatever have you. So, and that's a lesson for everyone. You can't serve everyone. If you have a business, you definitely have to strategically seek out your customers. Don't just think I can serve everyone with this business, because the only thing you're going to end up being is frustrated at the end of the day.
Wow. Good tip.
I hope I answered the question,
Oh, thoroughly.
Very thoroughly. Awesome. So real quick, as you engage with all these different candidates, I'm sure you deal with people from all walks of life. What do you perceive as some of the hurdles that will prevent candidates from advancing in their career, right? Is it the things that you're mentioning, motivation, fear, lack of that spark that creates that inferno, or just taking the initiative? I mean, what are some of the things that you think are actually hurdles for people?
It's so funny that you said that, because a lot of the clients that I deal with, it's like a reflection of myself. And one of the major things is not for the people who have, like I said, for the people who are motivated, they get in their own way. they believe that they can't do it. And I think it's for so many times, either if you don't have anybody in your corner to root you on, society, which can be very, very cruel, especially when it comes to a career standpoint. If you don't have a certain degree, or if you come from a certain area, you can't make it, you can't get out, you can't do the things, you can't accomplish your dreams and goals. So the biggest hurdle is people getting out of their own way, So, and a lot of that can be the reversal process can be just based off of a conversation. What do you want in life? If there was no barrier, what would you want to do? And a lot of people just starting out, they feel embarrassed because some people, they don't want to, how can I put this? They don't want to they don't want to put out to the world what their dream is because they don't feel that they're worth it. They don't feel like they deserve it. I can speak from experience based off that because a couple of years ago, I didn't think that I would be in this position. But, when it comes to the blessings that God puts forth, and God would just take the situation that you're in right then and there, think of it like it's a piece of string. But God looks at the entire cloth. So once you get out of your own way, you can say, man, I can really, really do this. And then we take tangible steps. The world wasn't created in a day. So I don't expect any of my clients to go from, well, I don't feel like I can make it in this world, to, okay, I'm the leader of the free world. It doesn't work like that. It's an overall process. So if people get out their own way, there'll be so many more leaders. There'll be so many more movers and shakers. And the funny thing about it is the world needs everyone. They need me. They need you guys. They need the individuals who feel right now that they are at the very, very bottom. God doesn't make any mistakes. So, once they get out their own way and just let them run with it, you'll be so surprised how people just really take control of their destiny, because it is there for them to control.
Wow. And I'm going to rewind real quick just to restate something you said that was dope. We look out at our situation as a string, but God is looking at it as an entire piece of cloth as ministry. I can actually pass the collection plate right there if y'all like. But I do have more. We do have more questions for you. And so you mentioned, right? I mean, people kind of getting in their own ways, and their, conversations are one of the ways that you can help to kind of remove some of these hurdles. What are other, as a career coach overall, how do you help them get over hurdles? What are other ways that you can kind of help them to get over these hurdles so they can land in that place that they'd like to land in their career, whether that be that promotion, whether that be, getting a job, or if they're in the job market looking for a job, et cetera? What are some of the, things that you can do to kind of massage and help this candidate kind of get over some of those hurdles?
Actually, put them in a real-life situation. I'll give you an example. Everyone uses the word networking, and, you want to network, you want to make sure your network is strong or whatever have you. Well, I had one client that he was a genuinely nice person, which is key when it comes to networking, because people love to network with people that they like, So he didn't look at that as a strength. So it got to a point where numerous occasions I talked to him about networking. He said, and I would always ask him, here's this networking event. If you was at this networking event, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? And he would tell me what he would do. So then it got to a point, he thought that one session that we had, he thought that we were going to actually just sit down in my office and have a one-on-one conversation. But no, I actually took him to a networking event. And I was thinking to myself, okay, you've talked enough. Let's put what you've been talking to into action. And he was a little bit nervous, but then it got to a point, that's why I was there to support him. So the first couple of people that we talked to, we did it together so he can get a feel for it. But after that, he just was networking, he talked to so many people, had so many cards, and he came back to me at the end of the night and was like, no one has ever done that for me before. They never took the time and effort out to put me in a situation where I can thrive. He was like, thank you for challenging me. But at the end of the day, I knew that he can do it. But once again, he didn't know. So I was thinking, you know what, let's cut everything out, throw you in that situation and see what you do. And he rose to the occasion. So sometimes it's good to, I can talk to someone all day, but then sometimes I just have to, hey, here, you throw you in the water. I know you can swim. Let me throw you in the water. And then I'm there to grab you if you need for me to. But he was swimming laps around that net. No problem.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's scary for a lot of people sometimes, and I've definitely been in that situation before in my professional career as well. If I were to start a specific type of job that I didn't have experience in, and a lot of times, they'll throw you in the fire, and what I've noticed is that every time that happened to me, I came out of those situations much, much stronger, and those situations, I became an expert in those fields, So a lot of times that is a very, very good way to diminish a certain fear that a person may have. We hear a lot about the importance of networking. And, a lot of us, we really don't have it down too tough, How much of an impact does one's networking ability have on their career?
In some instances, it can make you or break you because
Sure.
We all know it's not what you know, it's who you know, and then, reverse engineer that. It's not who you know, it's if they know you or not. And knowing the right people can put your resume on top of the pile. Because a lot of times when you have CareerBuilder and Monster.com, based off of one job, they may get 500 to 600 people applying for the job. But if you know the hiring manager or if you know the VP or whoever, if you have some sort of relationship with them, you'll bypass all of them. So my thing would be your network, and let me explain this also. You having a strong network, and what I mean by strong is you interact with people and you build and you develop relationships. It's not just saying, okay,
interact with people, develop relationships. Okay.
Yeah, the biggest piece is the relationship, because you don't want to have a mile-long list of people but an inch-deep relationship. You want the relationships to be so deep that if you call someone, they'll say, okay, you know what, let me put you into touch with this person. People will vouch for you if you, keep in contact with them. And it can be as simple as an email. Because what networking also is checking in with people. That's one thing that I do all the time. And just a follow-up. But it's even deeper than that. It's every, let's say every 3 months, I do my best, even though I need to do better with it, to reach out to people just to see how they're doing. And they say you should send an article. Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but a lot of times, if you just genuinely check on the person to see how they're doing, that will surpass any type of article that you're sending, because you're building a relationship. You're building a relationship with that person, not just their title. Because for me, I know CEOs, vice presidents, and things of that nature, but I care enough about them as individuals where if the title leaves, that care for that person will still be there, So building those deep relationships can definitely help you from a career perspective, but it's a deeper level when you are really, really involved in that person's life. I don't look at titles. I look at people, because people are more important than just, okay, he's the CEO of this company right now. How's that person doing? How's their wife? How are their children? You build relationships, friendships, that's intertwined. Let me just put this out there. A good book to read is the book by the name of, it's called Never Eat Alone. The author's name is Keith if I'm not mistaken. But his main thing is to develop relationships by caring about the other person. And then it's only human nature, when you genuinely care about a person, they're going to show that care and that love back. And it gets to a point where you can make incredible things. Based off of the relationships that you have, you can make incredible things happen by just picking up the phone, because they're just not saying, oh, okay, this is Eric calling again. I haven't heard from him in a year. It's, oh, Eric, how you doing? Oh, you need some help?
Yeah.
Let me pour all of my resources to help you out. It's a different type of synergy. So definitely build your network, develop it, treat it like a child. Watch it grow. You nourish it. You love it. You care for it. It may cry a little bit, but you will always get that return. You will always get that return on investment. And a lot of times that return could be just someone caring from you back. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tangible item.
Hey, man, that goes a long, long way. I'm glad you just said that. Amazing, amazing keys that Eric D. Horne is dropping on us today. Hey, Positive Thinkers, if you have a question, if you have a comment, give us a ring, 917-932-1078. That's 917-932-1078. We're going to pay some bills right now. So we're going to take a small, short commercial break. We'll be back with Eric D. Horne.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. With this child away, strong in the face. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let it stay go. Can't let it stay go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you want to take your business to the next level? Ultimate Business Solutions provides the support you need to increase your customer base and sell more products and services online. Specializing in graphic arts, web development, and internet marketing, Ultimate Business Solutions creates the face of your business. If you're looking for a custom logo, dynamic website, or popping marketing material, call Ultimate Business Solutions today at 404-704-2197 or visit www.ultimatebizsolutions.com. Ultimate Business Solutions. Let us create your future.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey, the dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
FOCUS. Find opportunities, create unique success. Focus is an Empower agency that provides motivational tools needed to aid our youth and young adults in the metro Atlanta area. Allow Focus to provide your kids with additional help in developing self-awareness, leadership, communication, and empowerment skills. For more information on how to get started today, go to www.focusfruits.com. Focus, life coaching for youth and young adults.
More and more people are making their purchases online, and their number one resource is ShopSquare.com. At ShopSquare.com, they're committed to excellence and top-notch customer service. ShopSquare.com is empowering customers just like you by providing them with the best details online anytime. If you're looking for electronics, home decor, home appliances, sporting equipment, college wear, or fashion, ShopSquare.com is where you'll want to be. Go to www.shopsquare.com or give us a call at 877-659-0000. 877-659-0807. That's 877-659-0807.
We are back. We're back. Think Positive Magazine.
Yeah.
We are so very happy to have our wonderful guest, Eric B. Horn. Eric, thank you so much, man, for coming on and talking to our listeners out there, the positive thinkers. Hey, positive thinkers, if you are wanting to know how to go to the next level in your career, you want to know how to start a new business, you want to know how to spruce up that business plan, call up.
That's right. We need you guys to call in 917-932-1078. Feel free to press that number 1 so you can be patched through to us to engage in this conversation with, as we mentioned, the professional and personal development expert, Mr. Eric B. Horn. And as my partner, Telly Woods, just said, he was mentioning quite a few things that he is well-versed in, meaning Eric himself is well-versed in, and one of those are from the perspective of business. And Eric, to you, we kind of want to shift our conversation. We know that you are a man that wears many hats when it comes to all the things that you assist in development, and one of those are from the perspective of small businesses. So I'm going to start with the basics here for our listeners. I always like to kind of, start at the foundation and build from there. So from the basic perspective, and based on your professional experience, what are some of the first steps that one would take to formally start a business? I mean, formally start a business.
Well, for me, one of the first things is you want to get your paperwork together. Meaning, if you want to be a sole proprietor, if you want to have a S corporation, a LLC, you want to figure out your overall structure, and which is very, very important because that deals with taxes, and that deals with how you're going to structure your business plan and things of that nature. And it's really simple. A lot of times people want to have a LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, and you can always, hopefully your business, you'll be able to generate sales, generate money, and grow. So you can always start small and then grow. That a lot of people out the gate want to be like Dr. Dre making a $3.2 billion deal, and it doesn't always work like that, because I've seen a lot of businesses kill themselves because they wanted to be structured a certain way, knowing that they didn't have the financial backing in the very, very beginning. It can be as simple as a $50 form for a sole proprietorship. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to know the quote-unquote pros and cons of it, but start small and always grow and move forward. And then another piece that you would definitely need when it comes to starting a business is and I was just talking about this last night, get a community together, meaning talk to other small business owners in your industry, of course, but then also talk to other small business owners that are not in your industry. The reason why I say you should have both, because you don't want to be considered a threat to someone who has the same type of business that you have, because everybody is very protective in some way, shape, or form. So talk to the people in the industry about, what are some of the failures that you had. If a good question is, if you had a chance to do it all over again, what are some of the same things that you would do, and what are some of the things that you won't? Feeding off that experience is key. But then also have a community of business owners not in your industry, because you can also gain another vantage point when it comes to advice when it comes to funding and things of that nature. And then also, going back to the last segment, you interact with other non-business owners in your industry and not in your industry. It helps you build up your network, which is key because you can't do everything. One of the biggest mistakes that I'm still learning and still working on is I can't do everything when it comes to the business. I'm not a control freak. It just gets to, well, yeah, I am. And I'm trying to be honest with you guys. But I'm slowly but surely giving stuff to other individuals that are experts in that field. Like for instance, when it comes to web design, yeah, I can do web design, but let me give that to someone who is an expert and they play in that arena where I have to work very, very hard. And
right,
that
stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in my lane, exactly. And with that, I have products that I've put together or projects that I put together have come out 10 to 12 times better because I let go of, okay, I got to do this, I got to do everything. You can't do that. Right. You need a team. And one of the things that I had to learn was I'm hurting myself by not letting people help me. This is a big hurdle for me, but that's why successful people, they have teams. If everybody, like you said, stay in their lane, and everybody is a dominant factor in that particular industry, you have individuals that you have a team that can't be touched. I remember the movie Backstage, and I remember Dame Dash was talking to DJ Clue about you can get so many other things done if you have people to help you. And if you have a team together, if one person falls, you still have the other individuals to hold you down. Because in the business, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have a situation where you make a lot of money, but then you may have a situation where you lose a lot of money. So if you have that balance, what did Jay-Z say? Nobody will fall because we're each other's crutches. So definitely having a team is extremely
huge,
extremely important.
Okay, so that's good information, and this is you're dropping jewels here, brother. I wish we had so much more time. Looks like we're getting close to the last 15 minutes or so of our hour, but just to restate, and the reason why we asked that question, how do you formally start a business, is because, we have a lot of people who Monday they have an idea, Tuesday they're in business, and they didn't go through all the proper steps, no paperwork or anything like that. So just a reminder out there, people, make sure that you, as Mr. Horn said, make sure you have a good understanding of the business structures. Feel free to start small. Go sole proprietor on up. And build out that community of people that are inside and outside of your network so that you can be able to create that dynamic team that would be needed to help you be successful. And so now, to you, Eric, what are some of the reasons that business owners should create a business plan? You did mention that. So what are some of the reasons that you see that business owners should create a business plan for their business? And then should they revisit that business plan after it's created? Because I've seen the scenario where it's one creates a business plan and say, yay, and then it collects dust, business goes on and move on, and no one ever revisits the business plan.
Okay, very good question. Well, first and foremost, it's very important to create a business plan because your business plan is your vision, and it's your structure when it comes to your company. And a business plan is a living document. What I mean by that is you should review it either semi-annually or annually. You should, as you grow and your business grows, your business plan should grow. Because I see a lot of companies, they had one sole purpose in mind when it came to their company. But then they got so much credibility and got so much success that it turned into maybe 2 or 3 companies. So you have to adjust. And with you adjusting, you have to update your strategy. And for the individuals, unfortunately, for the individuals that just create one business plan and that's it, definitely, get the dust off your business plan because it's a problem if your business plan stays the same. So if your business stays the same then you're staying the same, meaning you're not developing and you're not growing. You know, let's say you start out in Chicago, but then you have the capability to expand to Atlanta and D.C., but you never do it. So my thing is, you are unfortunately staying in one market share when you have the capability to grow, and it has to be sustainable. You know, and with a business plan, being sustainable sometimes meaning you have to adjust, and life gets in the way. You know, nobody ever thought, I mean, this is a very tragic event, but nobody thought that 9/11 was going to happen. A lot of businesses folded based off of that. And if these businesses did not adjust, they would have been one of the many, many, many companies that folded because they decided to just stay in one particular area. You know, so, you know, you have to, because at the end of the day, you know, you will want your business to grow, and if you're sometimes for your business to grow, you have to adjust, meaning change your mind, and then also adjust your business plan. So that is very, very key.
That's a very, very good point. As your business evolves, your business plan should evolve accordingly. So, guys, I hope that you guys are taking notes out there. Once again, Positive Thinkers, call up 917-932-1078. Press that 1 if you have a question or a comment for Mr. Eric B. Horne. Eric, now, we know you, okay? We know that, you know, that you are very, very big on volunteering. And on your website, you mentioned volunteering on the website, and what do you see as some of the benefits of volunteering?
There's a couple of things. One, you'll be able to, of course, to give back, because there's always, I don't care who you are or what your situation is, there's always someone in a worse off situation than you are. So if you volunteer your time, your efforts, your energy, your love, or your whatever the case may be, you will always be in a position to help someone else out, you know, because the more you give out, the more you'll get back. And that doesn't necessarily mean from a business perspective. That's with life in general. But then also we go back to the networking piece. As you volunteer, you meet other individuals in so many walks of life. For example, and it may be to the point where you meet someone that in your regular business functions you wouldn't able to meet. For instance, I recently wrote a blog on how you can advance and meet certain individuals as an introvert. So my thing was, if you're an introvert, figure out, like you're the CEO or the VP of the company or whatever, figure out they volunteer at, and volunteer at the same spot. You never know. You may be able to stir up a conversation. You may be able to build a very, very strong relationship with that person, which could help you out in the future. You know, you have so many people trying to get meetings to a certain high-level individual, which is okay, but if you volunteer at this same organization that they're volunteering for, you can shave your time tremendously, you know. And then the final piece with regard to volunteering is you develop, you have the opportunity, it's not always guaranteed, but you have another opportunity to develop another skill set. For example, I'm in IT, but when I volunteered for a certain committee, it was a public relations committee, that was an arena where I didn't know anything about public relations, but I did want to learn. So let me volunteer, spend a little time. And that's the thing, it's a little time. You don't necessarily have to spend hours upon hours upon hours. It's not the amount of time that you spend, it's what you do with the time that you are volunteering, you know? But it opens you up for learning stuff that you may not be able to learn in your current career. So volunteering is very, very, very important. And on a side note for me, I met my wife through an organization, so I would definitely say, volunteer, you know, because you never know. You never know the blessings that will come from that, and you know, in any way, shape, or form. So,
right. See, you can get a job, you can get a wife,
you know,
and you can get a kid. Congratulations, right? You just recently had your first child within the last, I believe, year or so, correct?
Thank you very much. Yeah, who needs Match.com? You know,
right? When you can volunteer.
You know, you can volunteer. You know, a lot of people are going to stop going to the clubs and going to start to volunteer. Oh, man.
I'm telling you, they don't know.
That's good. That's what we want them to do. Hey, Eric, man, you know, I really, really hope for the masses out there. I hope you are writing a book, brother, because, you know, just on this hour-long conversation, you've dropped so many jewels that I'm pretty sure, well, I know that you charge organizations and individuals for this kind of information, man. So we thank you so much for coming by Think Positive Magazine, Think Positive Radio, with this kind of information, man. So I hope you got a book in the works. What's next for Eric B. Horne?
Oh, okay. Let me get my shameless plug on. There's a couple of things. You talked about the book. Yeah, I'm in the editing process now on creating my first book. It's a workbook, and it's about professional development, and it's still in the works. So hopefully that will. I wanted to drop it on my birthday, which is in September. So that's coming down the pipe. I'm working on a couple of professional development events, because what I want to do is, you know, it's so much information, you can't just get it in just 1 hour, you know. So I have a couple of events coming down the pipe. I'm going to relaunch my online radio show. So that's in the works. And then also, for anyone who wants some of this information, please go check out my website, which is www.ericbhorne.com. And if you go to the website and opt in, meaning, you know, give your email address, I could send you a free 90-minute audio video based off of the stuff that we've been talking about today. I mean, just opt in. It's free. It's very powerful information. This is the type of information that can better yourself, can better your life, and give you an overall better understanding of the potential that you have, you know. So those are a couple of things that's in the works.
Nice.
Yeah, just and I want to say, you know, thank you for the time. I think we need to do this again, you know, because this is the stuff that I
absolutely
love talking about, and you know, I definitely appreciate it, because once again, you guys are a prime force of getting this positive information out, because doing a lot of research, it's not too many individuals that's doing what you're doing, you know, and that's a blessing within itself. So, you know, thank you for giving me the space and the opportunity to even just, you know, spend a little time with you guys. So, you know, definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, you know what, guys? Positive thinkers out there, make sure you visit our website at www.thinkpositivemag.com, because guess what? There you can find multiple articles from Eric. Eric, over the years, has been an awesome contributor to our magazine, our print magazine turned online magazine. And,
that's right.
Hey, it's some great content there from Eric. So definitely go over to his website. Come over to ours after you visit his. Check out some of his articles. Look for us on Facebook. Look for Eric on Facebook as well. You can follow Eric at his Twitter handle, @EricBHorne. Follow him today.
That's right. Follow him right now. And make sure you follow us as well, after you follow Eric, of course, at TweetTPM. And also, Positive Thinkers, as usual, we like to make sure that we present and bring to you guys the hottest of the hottest content, whether that be through our website or through Think Positive Radio. So please make sure that you tune in next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the next installment of Think Positive Radio. As usual, we will have something very, very beneficial to you. We are all about personal and professional development, and that is why we brought on a personal and professional development expert. But again, that's something that we are just about overall. So feel free, if you want more personal and professional development, make sure that you stay tuned into Think Positive Radio. Make sure you check out our good friend, Eric B. Horn. Make sure you check us out. Also, real quick, as it stands right now, it is May 10th, Kelly, 2014. This is a Saturday. It is Mother's Day weekend, right?
Right,
you know?
Right.
So we just want to give a real quick shout-out to all the moms out there, those that are with us, those that have gone on. There are several phrases that encapsulate the beauty and love of mother. But the main thing that we just want to make sure that we mention is that we love moms. Life begins with mothers. In fact, one of the phrases that stand out to me is that love begins and ends with mothers. There are many songs that I could sing to you guys right now, but I'm not even about to go there. I'm not going to go there, you guys. My album don't drop to February the 3000th, so I'm waiting for that date. But in the meantime, we just want to make sure that we give the mothers a shout-out. Happy Mother's Day. We love you guys, and without moms, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, and you know what? This show today is actually dedicated to a special mother, my grandmother, who went on to be with the Lord just a couple months ago. So this show is actually dedicated to Beulah Johnson. We love you, my dear. We miss you.
We love you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love you. That's right. Happy Mother's Day. Y'all have a great one. Think Positive Radio, Survivor Radio Network. We are out of here.